Hello folks, in this video I'm going to talk a bit about Meet integration in Classroom and some of the new features that have come to Classroom since the last lockdown. So I'm here in a demo classroom and you'll see that I have an option here to generate a Meet link up in the header. So if I click here, you'll see it says with Meet videos you can connect students, etc., etc. So if you hit generate Meet link, it will generate a link to a meeting. Now, you can't disable this once you've turned it on, but what you can do is you can hide it from students, which essentially does the same thing. So at the moment when a student logs into this classroom, they'll see this link up here. Now, as per Google advice, we've changed the permissions on Classroom so that students can't create their own meetings, because previously a student could go in before you and then they would become owner of this meeting and they would be able to kick you out or view the recorded videos. That's no longer the case. Now, if a student tries to open this link before the teacher enters, they'll get a message saying you must wait for the teacher for this class to work. So just maybe flag that with them, because sometimes I find students will not read the message in front of them, just say it's not working, and just highlight that it'll come up saying that you must wait for the teacher, but I guarantee you some students won't read that. They'll just say I'm getting an error. So if you click here, then it will open the meeting. So if you want to hide that, you have to go into settings, and you can here see where it says visible to students. You can turn that off. The students won't see the link. If you need to, you can also reset that Meet link as well. So you'll see now that I am joining the meeting here. So now students can join also. Now here's some of the new features. So if you click on activities, you will see that you now can put students into breakout rooms. You can conduct polls. Students also have the option to raise their hand now. So you'll see a hand up. Student can raise and lower their hands if they've got a question. Also in the host controls, you'll see that you can decide whether students may or may not share the screen. So if you're having an issue with students sharing screens and you don't want it, you can turn that on and off. And you can turn off the text-based chat as well. There's a few more host settings as well. Particularly of interest is the noise cancellation, which is turned on by default. So, in some of the video conferencing software, people drop in, and if there's kind of no speech, you can hear their mic. So the aim of the noise cancellation is that unless someone's actually speaking, their audio shouldn't be coming across in the Meet. Now, two more interesting features. If you click down into more options here, or three even, you'll see that you can now change the background like you could with Zoom, etc. It's worth looking at the change layout as well, because you've got tiles as well. And also now you have the option of opening a Jamboard. So if you haven't seen the Jam boards before, they're essentially like whiteboards. So if you have a tablet, it probably works a bit better because you've got pen features there as well. But you've also got the option to add images and sticky notes. So if you're kind of doing brainstorming activities, etc., and you can decide whether you want the students to be able to edit that Jam as well or not. Finally, you'll now get attendance data. Once there's over 3 participants in your meeting, you will be emailed at the end of it a summary, and you'll see here's an example of one. It tells you who entered the meeting and what time and how long they spent in there and when they left. And also, interestingly enough, it now also tells you if they've asked a question, whether the question's been answered, etc. So that's the functionality now that's built into Meet. And if you've got any questions, as always, drop me an email.